Welcome back to the Patronus pages. Now, without Peter Pettigrew, Voldemort might just have been a footnote in magical history. So why did the wizarding world's least likely traitor turn his cloak? And what really happened to him? The parts the film skipped. Buckle up, because we're diving into the backstory of perhaps the most cringeworthy villain in the entire Harry Potter series. J.K. Rowling has been rather tight-lipped about our man Peter's family life, only revealing that his mum was a witch. Like any magic-keen kid, he scampered off to Hogwarts, where the Sorting Hat threw us all a curveball by plunking him into Gryffindor. Yes, Gryffindor, the house of the brave and the bold, qualities that Peter, bless him, wasn't exactly drowning in. From the get-go, Peter gravitated towards stronger, more charismatic classmates. Enter James Potter, Sirius Black, and Remus Lupin. The fabulous foursome, known as the Marauders, were Hogwarts' own prank squad, with James and Sirius leading the charge. Peter? He was more the cheerleader, applauding from the sidelines, even as Sirius threw some not-so-friendly jabs his way. Fast forward past graduation, and the dark clouds of Voldemort's terror were gathering. The Marauders, -1, were quick to throw punches against the Dark Lord. Peter, however, always had an eye for the strongest ally in the room, and who's stronger than he who must not be named? Under a cloak of secrecy, Peter flipped sides, fueled not just by survival instincts, but also a simmering grudge against his old pals. When Voldemort needed to locate the Potters, who better than their supposed friend to spill the beans? Here's where the nifty Fidelius charm comes into play. This charm is a complex piece of magic used to hide a secret within the very soul of the person chosen as the secret keeper. In the case of the Potters, the secret was the location of their home, and they chose Peter to keep it. The charm makes the information unattainable, unless the secret keeper chooses to divulge it. Unfortunately, Peter betrayed them by revealing their location to Voldemort, marking baby Harry with that infamous lightning bolt scar and sending Sirius to the grim depths of Azkaban. His cover? A spectacular public meltdown accusing Sirius, followed by a faux explosive death. Thus began Peter's life as an undercover rodent. For 12 years he masqueraded as a rat, first with Percy Weasley and then with Ron, dodging death by a whisker. But fate has a funny way of catching up. A prize-winning photo of Ron in the paper, featuring Peter as his pet rat, caught Sirius's eye in Azkaban, blowing Peter's cover wide open. A daring escape later, Sirius was hot on his tail, though Harry Potter, ever the peacemaker, stopped a full-on Marauder smackdown. When confronted by Sirius, Peter had this to say. "Sirius, Sirius, what could I have done? The Dark Lord. You have no idea. He has weapons you can't imagine. I was scared, Sirius. I was never brave like you and Remus and James. I never meant it to happen. He who must not be named forced me. He was taking over everywhere. What was there to be gained by refusing him? You don't understand. He would have killed me, Sirius." Peter's adventures didn't end there. Eavesdropping as a rat, he heard whispers of Voldemort's comeback tour in Albania. Off he scurried, finding not only Voldemort, but also an opportunity to kidnap Ministry insider Bertha Jorkins, a move that would bring back not only Voldemort, but also a disguised Barty Crouch Jr. to Hogwarts. Voldemort's return at the Triwizard Tournament was partly thanks to Peter's handy contribution, literally giving a hand for the cause. As Voldemort regained power, Peter got his reward, a shiny new silver hand. But power shifts, and soon Peter was back to being a glorified errand boy, overshadowed by the more menacing Death Eaters. With his new hand, Peter was involved in more than a few dark deeds, helping to capture and torture several individuals under Voldemort's orders. His role became one of a darker, more violent enforcer, contrasting sharply with his previous cowardly persona. Peter's final act came in a moment fraught with chaos and moral ambiguity. During a critical confrontation at Malfoy Manor, where Harry and his friends were captured, Peter's role as a captor was tested. When the prisoners attempted to escape, Peter intervened, grappling with Harry. In this intense struggle, Harry reminded Peter that he owed him his life. Harry had previously saved him from certain death. This moment of recollection caused Peter to hesitate, his new silver hand betraying him in response to this flicker of conscience. The hand, enchanted by Voldemort to enforce loyalty, perceived Peter's hesitation as a betrayal. It suddenly turned on him, constricting around his throat and choking the life from him. This brutal end came swiftly, as the hand tightened inexorably, robbing Peter of any chance to further act, either for good or ill. This poignant moment raises the question of Peter's potential for redemption. Was this last-minute hesitation a sign of true remorse, or merely a survival instinct in panic? While he did show a moment of hesitation, likely stirred by a residual sense of gratitude towards Harry, his overall trajectory was largely defined by betrayal and self-preservation. His final act, therefore, is a complex mix of cowardice, brief repentance, and a tragic end enforced by the dark magic he had allied himself with. It leaves us pondering whether this brief second of doubt was enough to redeem a lifetime of misdeeds, or if it was merely a small flicker of humanity in an otherwise dark existence. Now let's hear your thoughts. What do you think about Wormtail? Did he do enough to redeem himself? It's easy to despise him, not least because of the excellent casting that brought such a loathsome character vividly to life on screen. But consider this. Confronted by Voldemort and demanded the address of the Potter's home, how many would truly be able to defy him? It's a thought that challenges our sense of moral fortitude. Would many characters have been brave enough to stand against Voldemort at that moment? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss the complexity of Wormtail's character and the choices he made. That will do it for this episode of the Patronus Pages. If you could do us a huge favor and like the video, it helps new witches and wizards find our videos. Until next time.